Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk about why farmers prepay.
Well, farmers do a lot of things differently than other businesses and other people in our country. One of the things that farmers do is they harvest their grain and they can choose to either sell that grain this calendar year or next calendar year. They can hold it in their grain bins until they see a good price. But when they do that, they kind of screw things up. When you think about taxes, of all of a sudden, wow, the price isn't good. I'm going to hold on to it till after the first of the year and hope the price gets better. In the meantime, they've taken no income for the year. They may have all their expenses and their taxes may look terrible.
Okay, well, here's the reason why they can do this. Farmers are unlike most other businesses in that they can run with what's called cash accounting as opposed to accrual-based accounting. What that means is unless the farmer takes cash in, it's not income yet. Unless he pays cash out, it's not an expense yet. With most other businesses, hey, if they harvested the grain and they had grain sitting on the farm, for example, if it was another business, not a farmer, they'd have to actually take that as income in the year that they got that asset. But farmers don't. And the reason why farmers don't is it basically allows the farmer to income average. Because on the farm, things get really up one year and then they go really down the next year. It's really hard to manage this if you're just looking at a short-term basis. Over the long term, hopefully it turns out good. But what we as farmers like to do is hold some of that grain back. So, hey, if we have a bad year coming up, well, then we can sell a bunch of that grain that year when we really need the income.
Well, and you just never know when that's going to happen and what those market prices are going to do. Farmers don't have any control over that. And a lot of times the planning goes into next year's crop right now. So farmers are buying seed and buying crop protection products and buying fertility now for a crop that is not even planted for several months. And so when they put that crop in, they don't know if they're going to get good weather. It's a really challenging game.
Okay, well, let's come back to what our question was. Why do farmers prepay? Well, what happens is at the end of the year, the farmer says, oh, okay, it looks like I'm going to make X. Let's just say that it's $100,000, for example. It looks like I'm going to make $100,000, and so I'm going to have to pay so much in taxes. But boy, I don't think next year's going to be very good. Last year wasn't very good. So let's do this. Let's get that down. Instead of $100,000, I want to only make $70,000. All they have to do is write a check out for prepay for certain inputs like seed or crop protection or fertilizer, and bam, just like that, they've lowered their net income. Now they are going to pay less tax. And right away you might say, oh, how can the farmer do this? And the government is taking it in the shorts on this one. No, they're not. The government's eventually going to get their money. All that's happening is the farmer's delaying his tax bill. And in exchange for that, the government wants this, because the only way the farmer gets that delay of his tax bill is he has to put money into the system. So he's got to spend that money. Well, what happens with that money? How many times does that turn? What do they always say? Money turns about 7 times. So it's a really good thing to stimulate the economy.
I was just going to add to that. One of the key things that you said there, Brian, was farmers have to pay for specific things. So a farmer can't just say, wow, I had $100,000 in income. I'm going to write a check out for $80,000 so I only have $20,000 of income left here. No, it's not like that. You have to pay for specific things on the invoice. So yes, you could prepay $80,000, but you have to say, well, this particular seed I'm buying, this particular crop protection product, and this particular fertilizer that I'm buying, and that's very important to the government. They aren't just going to let you, oh, I'll write a check and have no receipt to show for it. It doesn't quite work that way.
Right, and in some cases they even have to take delivery of that particular item and apply it on their farms. So there are some rules that go into these things, but we just wanted to make sure that if you hear some rumor that, oh, the farmer can get out of paying taxes, no. The farmer doesn't get out of paying taxes ever. What happens is he can delay his tax bill, but in order to do that, he's got to take his cash and spend it on something for his farm. And again, the reason why the government likes that is that money turns so many times it really stimulates the economy.
Well, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on which side of this you're on, farmers do have lots of things they need to pay for. One of the things that is going to cost farmers money this year is controlling our weed of the week. Can you identify this week's weed?